Well, it's 6 o'clock, and I'm just going to go ahead and start because we do respect your time as well. But I just want to thank you all for coming on the call. You know, what we're doing is the Dr. Joel Dudley Senior Legacy Project, and many of you, most of you, but maybe have been interviewed for the project, and we're still interviewing more people. But what we're going to do about once a month, and we did this April 18th was the first one. What we're going to do once a month is just keep people updated as to how the project is going along and how all of us can be a part of it to help move it along. Because it got to the point where we realized, we're working, interviewing everyone and doing what we can, but we really it needs a team effort. And we just need everyone to do a little bit. And if everyone just does a little bit, you'll be surprised how far this project can go. So we've got a little presentation for you. So we're just going to do this each month, once a month, to keep you updated about the progress of the project. Now, at the bottom of this screen is the actual link or the address for the podcast. And the podcast has been up since December, right at Christmas time. So any of you can go there. A lot of some of the interviews, not a lot, but some of the interviews are available for free to view, but some you have to actually become a subscriber to the podcast in order to view them. So one of the first things we always do in every meeting is we kind of do a little housekeeping just to let you know the meeting is being recorded. And so what we do is we record it so that anyone that cannot make the meeting, we put it up and then send out a link so that they can still watch it if they can't make the meeting today. And we just ask that you keep yourself on mute unless you have a question or comment. So just so we don't have any background noise, but you can raise your hand on Zoom if you want to have a question or want to make a comment. And just when you do, let us know who you are. State your name and location before you speak. Sometimes on our meetings, people get on, they start talking. We have no idea who they are or where they are. So just let us know who you are and where you are before you speak. And just keep your comments brief and to the point so other people can also share their thoughts or questions. And so some of the things we'll be doing today is, again, going over the agenda, which we're doing now. We've got a special treat for you. One of the young man we interviewed, Shammah Waller, is on, and he's going to perform for us. We were just impressed with his interview, so we asked him to perform. He agreed. He's on the line. We're going to have a little scripture. That's kind of a thing that we do with Every.Black. We always share scripture at almost every meeting. And then some of you may not know what Every.Black is. And so I've got one slide just to let you know what Every.Black is, give you some perspective, how this whole project got started. We're really open. We want to be clear as to how the revenue is split from the subscriptions and the objectives of what we're trying to do. I want to introduce you to the team, the people that have been working behind the scenes, some behind the scenes and some in front of the scenes to make this all happen, where we are now. We issued a media release. Well, two things. Media release is something that we want to get from everyone that we are interviewing, just saying that it's okay to use your interview on the podcast. And we recently got a DocuSign, electronic DocuSign account so that we'll send that out and get an electronic signature from those just to make sure that it's okay for us to use your likeness, your interview to raise money for this project. And then we also sent out a press release, and I'll share that with you. And actually, I want to send it to anyone that can also share it. And then we'll talk about the podcast, give you a sample podcast of where can be going, and then how you can help. And that's where we really need your help. And then show you some examples of some of the things that people have already stepped up to do. And then the other thing is that one of the things we realized we really would like some celebrity endorsements. Because if Barack Obama says to join this podcast, I think a few people would do it, Or if Oprah Winfrey said to join this podcast, I think a few people would do that as well. So we're looking for a few endorsements. Now, also, it doesn't have to be, we don't have to have the big names. We can also have the Jimmy Davies and the Kim Davies Smith and all of the endorsements are great, would be great. to let people know, the testimonials to let people know this is a good project, worthwhile project. So before I go any further, I'm going to back up a bit, and well, maybe I'll just leave it there. But Shammah, I'm going to stop my sharing my screen so we can do that.
Hello, everybody. My name is Shammah.
Let me cancel my screen here so they can see you. I'm trying to get it. There it goes. Okay. Kim, can you spotlight him so everyone can see him?
Hello, everybody. My name is Shammah. I'm gonna be freestyle rapping and singing to you all today. I've known Mr. Dudley since I was like really young. You'll find out all that information when you see the video, the interview video. But for now, I'm here to freestyle rap to you guys, freestyle sing, and I hope you enjoy. Let's go. Yeah. Y'all hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
All right, cool. Can I get a mute on everybody? Yeah. I want to take y'all outside for a little bit. Yeah. You can loosen up. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, I want to be free. I want to be fly. I want to go high to the sky, way past the ceiling. I'm just feeling so good. Yeah, I feel like this our day. Like I feel like it's our day. Feel like it's the time. I've been feeling great. Gotta spit a couple lines. I've been feeling fine. Yeah, I'm outside. I'm at the park. I've been like a fish just with the sharks. Nah, matter of fact, something like the opposite. Just been up in the tank trying to head straight to the bank. And I'm just trying to be Ben Frank. Yeah, I'm talking about the bread because I'm trying to get ahead. Yeah, I want to go fast. Yeah, I want this time to last. Yeah. And I want to have a blast. Yeah, I want to have a blast. Yeah. I don't want to crash. I don't want to sleep. Unless I'm dreaming, then it'll be lucid. I just want to move real fluid. I just want to get right into it. I got dreams and I'm gonna pursue it. Yeah, and I hope that you do it. If you ain't know, now you're about to know it. I mean, know it. Look, I even gotta be a poet, cause I've been a poet for a little bit. Yeah, I gotta grind, I'm never gonna quit. I've been feeling like I'm it, feeling like I'm the one, so I'm about to spit a little bit of fire. I'm a boss and I'm about to get them hired. Already know I got the game like pliers. Yeah, I'm talking about the game of life. Every day I'm just trying to do that right like every day, like every night. I feel like I get the pay, and I'm just going through this maze. I've been feeling like I'm shocked, something like I'm tased, yeah. Now I'm about to have the crowd amazed. I'ma be moving on these cloudy days. Looking to the sky, see the cloudy days. I've been moving through the stage since a little boy, through a young age. Now I'm just employed by myself, cause I'm a entrepreneur, a dream pursuer, vision doer. That's what I do like every day. I'm feeling great like every night. I just feel like I just gotta live up to the height. Matter of fact, I'm about to go and take me a flight. And when it comes to my dreams, I'm just ready to fight. Yeah. And I'ma let it go. Yeah, I'ma let it go. Talking about all of the pain. I'ma let it go. Yeah, I'ma let it go. Yeah, I'ma let it go. I'ma let it go. Yeah, I'ma let it go. I'ma let it go. Yeah, and I'm about to flow. I just wanna flow. I just wanna go. Open up that door, cause it's right in front of me. I've been looking for my destiny like every single day. Like every single day, like every single time. I've been feeling like I gotta make it. This is my time, my light, my shine. And I just gotta get that state on the grind. Every single day, every single time. Yeah. Yo, I'm feeling kind of fly today. I'm feeling like a bird. I got some words you never heard. I'm feeling kind of fly today, and I'm feeling like a bird. Yeah, I'm about to spread my wings. I'm about to spread them out. I'm about to spread them out. Yeah, and I ain't never ever gonna doubt myself. Gotta get that health, that wealth. I'ma get that, yeah. I'ma get that, yeah. I gotta get that, yeah. Like I said, I wanna take y'all outside with me. Yeah, I wanna take y'all outside with me. Yeah, I love it when you ride with me. Matter of fact, I love it when you vibe with me. Yeah, I love it when you vibing. I love it when you vibing. I love it when we vibing. Thank you all. I appreciate all the support, everybody listening. Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
This is
Thank
what I do.
you.
This is what I love to do. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Wow, wow,
Well,
wow.
That's
Thank you.
great.
I
You have a
appreciate that.
beautiful
Thank you
voice.
so very much.
You're welcome.
Wow, wow. Loving it.
Fantabulous. Your
Thank you.
voice is
Awesome talent.
beautiful.
I appreciate that.
you're
If
Awesome.
one
you
of the,
guys, yeah, if I also do photography and video too, so you can
Okay.
check out my Instagram. It's speed_snaps, and then check out my other Instagram for the music. It's Shammah.official.
one of the reasons we wanted Shammah to do, when we interviewed him, we realized, Mr. Dudley doesn't just affect old heads like me. He has affected and impacted so many people. And this young man was so positive and going places and had dreams. And we said, we just want to bring him on to just share. He shared a little bit with us during the interview as well. So he said he's going to prepare something for today. And so thank you. That was great.
Thank you.
Great. It set a great tone for the rest of the meeting. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Oh, my IG. I'll put my IG in the chat, everybody.
Yes. Yeah. Let everybody know how to reach out to you.
All right. Thank you.
Sure. Like I say, one of the things we always do is we always share a scripture in our meetings. And so this is something actually one of our members, Olivia Robinson, prepared.
Our scripture today is 1 Chronicles 4, verse 10 from the New Living Translation. Jabez was the one who prayed to God of Israel, "Oh, that you would bless me and expand my territory. Please be with me in all that I do and keep me from all trouble and pain." And God granted him his request.
Thank you. Like I said, we're just going to go through the agenda that I outlined at the beginning of the meeting. And thanks for those that are just coming on. But just to let people know what Every.Black is, and you can go to the website, Every.Black. It's not no .com, no .net. But basically, our mission is to assist, educate, and inspire people to create wealth through entrepreneurship. And by using technology, which is my background, and a strategy of global networking. And so we do that in a number of ways. We list our members on the website, we promote them on social media, and email blast. We provide technical training for our members. We help them get a podcast. We have weekly mastermind meetings. And now we're about to launch our own Roku channel. Now, like I said, my background has been in computers for about over 30 years. But it really helped me when I started going to Mr. Dudley's meetings to focus on entrepreneurship and realizing I needed to use my skills toward helping other entrepreneurs. And so the way this whole project got started, I was literally at Mr. Dudley's house a few years ago. And I'd been there probably 100 times before, but this particular time, I just realized that he's got all of these media, tapes, cassettes. I mean, and all the things you see on the screen, he's got it all, even reel to reel, from way back in the day. And I realized that some of these things, they're going to be lost because of time. They're getting brittle, and some of them were getting molded. So I asked Mr. Dudley if we could preserve his legacy, preserve this. That's how it kind of started. And so every week, for every Wednesday, we'd go there. We, as a number of us, I'll show you the team in a bit, would go there to begin cataloging. First thing we wanted to see was, what does he have? And the more we found, the more we discovered there was more. It just kept multiplying. We estimate he's got about 3,000 items that need to be preserved, right? And all of these beta, VHS, 3/4-inch tape, reel-to-reel, DVD, all of that. He's got all of it that he's been saving over 50 plus years, literally. And Mr. Robert Melvin, I hope he's on the line tonight. He's been preserving a lot of this. He even has recordings of S.P. Fuller on cassette tape that we realize we need to preserve. So I proposed to Mr. Dudley, and I'm showing you the revenue split because I want everything to be out in the open. But we came up to an agreement that the revenue split is any of the money we receive from this podcast, 55% would go to Mr. Dudley and 45% would go to Every.Black. Now, Mr. Dudley basically would get all the money, and then he pays Every.Black as a service to perform the work. And so also the arrangement was that his portion would go basically to the cost of digitizing the media. And then for the people helping just to do this, the original agreement was that we'd be paying those people to do that. Now, to date, to be honest with you, none of us have received anything, and that's okay, because we're just doing it out of love. We just want to see this project happen. So everyone that's interviewed, all the people that's working on behind the scenes, no one's received anything. The editors, nothing at this point. But we realized too, we need to generate funds to really do it right. So that's why we started these meetings, to realize we need to bring more people on board. And so the objective is we want to digitize the work, digitize these, we've got the interviews recorded to digital, but also all of the photos, the awards that can be literally preserved by getting it to digital. Even if some of the photos are getting discolored, again, the VHS tapes and cassettes, some of them are getting molded. He's got a ton of stuff in the barn out in the back of the house. And even the awards, I literally went throughout his entire house and I took a picture of all the awards he had. And then Mr. Melvin told me, well, he got boxes more in a storage someplace. So I just realized, oh my gosh, this is going to be huge. But the bottom line is we've got all types of meetings, graduations. All of this is recorded, like I said, S.B. Fuller, over the last 50 plus years. So we just want to share it, want to preserve it so that it can be shared. Maybe it could be placed in a museum, or whether it's a podcast. Right now it's a podcast, but we realize it could be in libraries and museums. Also, just to let you know how this works, Mr. Dudley owns the content. We don't own it. We're just providing a service to him to preserve the content. But he has the ultimate decision as to what happens to the content, okay? We just have an agreement that we're preserving it, but he owns it. Your interviews, he owns it. And assuming that you agree to let us, you sign the electronic document that we'll be sending to you to use your likeness, then we'll do that. But he owns the content. But the team, we've had a number of people over the last year and a half helping. Kenyatta Martin, who's in the service, he's actually out of the States now. I'm not sure where, but he's in the service and reserved, and he had to go serve the country. But Candace Graves, myself, we were doing a lot of cataloging. Some of you may have been interviewed by Dr. Beverly Allen or Mr. Randolph Reed or Michelle Taylor. They've been our primary interviewers. I've done some interviewing. Kim's done some interviewing. Chris Downey has been our editor, and he did a lot of work for us, editing. But it got to the point where he's a young father and has a family, and he just couldn't do anymore, but he did a lot, so we include him. But he just got to the point where he just couldn't commit the time without revenue. He needs revenue to support his family. We understand that. And then also we've had some people helping to scheduling the interviews, Catalina Cordu and Nellie Lee, who's come on recently. She's been a huge help because it's helped relieve some of that scheduling off of Kim. And then Ella, if we have any problem scheduling anyone, we just tell Ella and she takes care of it. So between her and Mr. Dudley, if Mr. Dudley says be there, then we get the people there to be interviewed. So this is the team of people that have been working behind the scenes to make this happen. It's not just that interviewer, not just that scheduler. It's a number of people that are working behind the scenes to create the podcast, to edit the videos and all of that, cataloging the content and everything. Now we cataloged a lot of the content, but there's a lot more to go. Like I said, we've cataloged about 300 items, photographed about 50 awards. I literally took other photographs in his house so I can get them on my phone so we can use them. We've done over 130 interviews now. But see, we've only edited 18 because it's time consuming and costly to do the editing. But we have created a podcast for subscriptions. It is up and running. And we've been sharing it on social media and email blast and our mastermind meetings. We also issued a press release, a national press release back in March. But again, we want to continue to send that press release out just to let people know that it's here. And at this time too, I'm going to let Kim tell you, one of the things that came out of the last meeting is a young lady, Shelly Skeen, has a lot of experience obtaining grant money. And so after talking about it, we realized, Every.Black is not, we're for profit. I'm not a nonprofit, but we came to the conclusion it might be a good idea for Kim, my sister, to actually form a nonprofit to raise grant funds to maybe not only preserve Mr. Dudley's, but also any legacies. We realize that by preserving Mr. Dudley's legacy, there's a lot of other Black entrepreneurs, a lot of key figures who have done amazing things that their histories may be lost if we don't do something. So I'm going to give Kim a little chance now to tell us about our legacies and how that's coming along and what your vision is behind that.
Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Kim Davy Smith. I am the benefit specialist currently with Every.Black, but I want to let everybody know that I have been super, super inspired by the Dudley Legacy Project. And when I say I've been inspired, I've been in tears, I've been in laughter, so many, many things. And the reason why I've decided upon my heart that this is a blessing from God. When I actually spoke with Shelly, and because she did not know that Every.Black was not a nonprofit, it just opened up a great opportunity. Actually, Jimmy woke up the next morning and says, well, I'm Every.Black is for profit, but this may be something that you may be thinking about, maybe you could do to help. And I figured this is an opportunity that's kind of been thrown in my lap in a way that is a good way. I look at it as a gift from God, because if you think about it, I've been surrounded by people that are ready to go to help me with this project. And the name of the company is Our Legacies Foundation. And we're going to call it the pre-launch, meaning we have people that are now volunteering to be on the board. I'm going through weekly calls with Shelly, which is the administrative assistant for Mr. Robert Brown. If you know her, she's very well versed on grant money and funding and charitable donations and how that works. And she's going to stay in staff with Our Legacies even after it's up and running. She will be out there going to get the necessary funds to be able to preserve our legacies. And I think it's so important that we do this. I feel very compelled to do it because we all have a legacy to leave, every one of us. It is our responsibility to leave a footprint for our generations to come. And we have not always been really successful or have done it like we should have, but providing this huge opportunity to have a foundation that can help with the funding is huge. And as we all know, there's all sort of available grants and other funding sources that can really make a big difference, and not just Dr. Dudley's project, but maybe your project when you're ready to preserve your legacy. We want to make it so that it is going to be something that very attractive to you. And the way it will kind of work is I would actually have vendors such as Every.Black to vend out or contract out the work to be done. So it would be certain things, responsibilities that would be maintained with Our Legacies, like the scheduling portion of it. And I also wanted to acknowledge that Miss Nellie Lee has not only been a scheduler, she is now now doing interviews. So she's conducting interviews too. So it's a huge opportunity. In the past, like I said, we are getting on the right road to be able to do this. As far as preserving our legacies, it's not just something that we need to wait till we get a certain age to do. I really feel that it's important that we start thinking about our legacies at a very early age, because it is our responsibility. How do we expect our next generation to carry on if they don't have a footprint, if they don't have enough people that they can look up to and read about and research and find out all the great things that they've done it's got to inspire us as a people. And so I'm super excited about our Legacies Foundation. It is basically, I've been pumped up about it for the last month. I get really, really excited about it because my basic, even when I went to Michigan State University, I'm a graduate of Michigan State University, and I actually received my degree in urban development. My goal has always been to help my people, and what a way to be able to do it by being able to provide a service, to be able to document our legacies and to have available funds to make sure that it happens. So it makes a whole lot of sense. But of course, you know, I have to leave Every.Black. So I will be a member of Every.Black, but I will no longer hold a position with Every.Black. So I'm super excited about that God has trusted me and empowered me to take on this great responsibility to be able to service our community. I'm talking about people of African descent. So I'm super excited about this huge opportunity, and I can foresee my vision is to have more than one going on at one time. So that's all I wanted to say. I just didn't want to tie up any too much with the meeting, but because I could go on and on. I could turn this into our legacy meeting quickly, okay? But thank you, Jimmy, for the opportunity to talk about things that are starting to come down the road. You know, with the domain name, and Shelly's walking me through the process. And I've got about 6 other people, believe it or not, that I met through Clubhouse and other organizations willing to help. When God puts all these people around you that said, I'll help you, Kim, I'll help you, Kim, I can help you with this. I mean, I can clearly see that this is where he wants me to be right now. So I feel so humbled to be chosen and to be able to help and serve my community. So any questions, feel free to give me a call, or I'm Kim at Every.Black right now, but you can contact me at any time and I'm here to help. So we'll be, hopefully in the next month or two, we'll be up and ready to go. So I'm super excited about the launch that's going to happen really shortly to provide the funds necessary to do these legacies and do them in a good professional way.
And I have to add to what that means too, is that we realize, yeah, if you know, if the grant money, and there is grant money out there according to Shelley, and I believe there is, then it makes sense to hire the companies, the Dudley company, not just Every.Black, but he's affected a lot of companies that maybe have the skill set to do some media or editing and some of the other things. You know, it just makes sense that we keep it in-house to help not just Every.Black, but all of the Dudley family. Does that make sense? Yeah, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to just do one legacy at a time. I can
Right.
foresee we're going to be doing multiple legacies at one time. So we would be, the foundation, of course, would monitor, make sure things get done in a timely manner, but there'll be a process in place to ensure that, you know, the work is done, top quality niche. We know that Every.Black is going to do it at a very high quality level. So they will be, Every.Black will be one of our main vendors. But of course, there's always some other opportunities for other vendors that may want to get some of this as well. So
Yeah.
I think it's a huge, huge opportunity to get it done. And I want to be inclusive of everybody that would like to help and to like to be a part of our legacies.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
What I'm going to do is, like, this is actually the media release that you'll be receiving an electronic version of this through DocuSign. And we actually just signed up for it. We haven't even used it yet, but we will be using it. And it's just basically saying that you give us the permission to use your interview for the sole purpose of promoting the Dr. Joel Dudley Senior Legacy Project, but that you also understand that you're not being paid for it. There's no pay, but no monetary compensation, but in reality, you are being paid because you're part of the legacy as well. This is the press release that we sent out on March the 2nd, and it was on blacknews.com. It's a national press release. Now we've got a copy of it, and what I want to do is give it to anyone that can also share it as well. So we can give it to you. We want to make it easy for you to share the information, basically. And for the podcast, this is a screenshot of the podcast that I set up. And there's 3 different primary levels: the $5 a month, where, well, some things are free to begin with, but the $5 a month, the bronze level, you can see the photos and awards. For $10 a month, you can hear and view the interviews. So not only can you see the photos and awards, but also hear the interviews. And then for $20 a month, for the first 100, we call them charter members. We already have 2 charter members, by the way, Mr. and Mrs. Lafayette Jones, Lafayette and Sandra Miller Jones, and then another young lady, boy, I'm sorry, I don't remember the name, but we have 2 charter members now at $25 a month, where you'll also be able to hear the speeches of Dr. Dudley. So that's how the podcast is structured right now. Now, again, once the content is created, it doesn't have to be just a podcast, but that's the avenue that we're starting off with. And to give you an example, I would like to get at least 1,000 people on that podcast. But to give you an example, this is another podcast. A lot of people don't realize that you can make good money on podcasting. And this is a podcast about games. And in reality, this isn't the largest podcast revenue stream that I've seen. I've seen another one, I can't remember the name, but it was like double this. But they have about 9,000 patrons, and they're bringing in around $47,000, $48,000 a month. The idea is that you get a lot of people to give a little bit. And so if I go back to Mr. Dudley's, I'd like to get 1,000 people to give $10 a month toward his podcast. I think that's very doable. 1,000 people, $10 a month, that's $10,000 a month to go towards preserving his legacy. So that's the concept, but it doesn't have to be limited to just the podcast. Again, there may be some donation grant money coming through the Our Legacies as well. But that's how podcasting works. You get a lot of people to give you a little bit, and it adds up. Almost everybody can afford $10 a month. And especially those that have been impacted by Mr. Dudley, I would think you want to give $10 a month to help preserve his legacy. Now, here's how you can help. Some other things you can do to help. You can share this information on your social media. You can share it on your mailing list, if you have a mailing list. Share the press release in any publications or newsletters you have, maybe in your church or any organizations you're part of. Just have to put the press release in there to let people know about it. Maybe you have some media outlets. Maybe you're on, some of our members are on radio or TV or whatever. And also maybe introduce us to your network. What I mean by that is maybe you're a part of a group, a business group or a church or hairstylist or whatever the group might be. Invite us in to just give this presentation to them, because they might, especially cosmetologists, all the things that he's done in the beauty industry, beauty care industry, they may well be interested in supporting this project. So basically introduce us to your network so we can get this information in front of more people, basically. Some other things you can do, like I mentioned earlier, you can record an endorsement, record your own endorsement, or introduce us to get a celebrity endorsement. Maybe you know somebody that knows TD Jakes. Actually, we're working on TD Jakes. Or maybe you know somebody that, that type, or maybe or maybe you're a celebrity, because Mr. Dudley has worked with everybody. We want endorsements, whether you're a celebrity or not. We want an endorsement that we can share on our social media, share on our podcast, share with the people on this call to get the word out. And again, I mentioned subscribe to the podcast and just get 10 others to subscribe to the podcast. You subscribe, get 10 others, and then it will grow. And then also you can even just make a donation. Now, the big thing about once the nonprofit is set up, the donations would be tax deductible because it's going to a nonprofit. It's not a nonprofit now. However, the podcast would be, I would assume, and I'm not an accountant, but I would think that would be tax deductible for a business, because it's an educational thing. You're learning about business by listening to these interviews. Again, I'm not an accountant, but I'm putting it out there. I think it would apply. And oops, I didn't mean to, I stopped my sharing. What happened? I clicked on a link instead of the next button. So let me
Well,
get back.
I just wanted to share a couple of things while Jimmy's getting back on track. You know, you mentioned TD Jakes, right? And you know, Mr. Bishop TD Jakes, I had reached out to him earlier this year and have not got a response. And I was actually going through one of the people we'd already interviewed. And I was just so delighted to know that we interviewed another young lady this week that works for the Potter's House, right? And so I kind of didn't put the names together. And once I did, she says, "Oh yeah, send it to me." So it's like everything that we go to do with this project, believe it or not, God is in the mix in this. When we are challenged, He helps us with solutions. He provides the solutions. That's what's so amazing for me, is that I keep getting confirmation that we're doing the right thing. This is God, what He wants us to do, preserve Dr. Dudley and so many others' legacy, so that our people can learn from that and grow from that, and to know what has happened through the years instead of finding out later on in life. It's important that our young children know what's going on, know about their people and what the great things they've done as entrepreneurs. So I just wanted to add that things, for whatever reason, with this project, things I can't even explain until you're on seeing the interview or actually log into the interview. It's something magically happens spiritually that happens during these interviews, and it's just mind blowing. So, and I think some of you have probably understood what I said, but because you were on it or you were the person being interviewed, but we've cried, we've laughed, we've had such a good time interviewing folks that I love the interview. So I fell in love with something. Now the guys open up the door for our legacy. So it's just a perfect fit for me. So I just thank you for your time.
Yeah, I think each interview, each week, even though we've interviewed so many people, I promise every single week you're learning something, you're inspired by something, you're hearing something new. Some things are the same as how he's impacted so many people, but he's impacted people in so many different ways. From those that coming out of prison, those that literally had nothing, even those that maybe are doing very well off, and he still made a big difference in their lives. So, I mean, just all types of situations. What I'm showing you here is his brother Sam Tate. This is an example of some of the things that we can do. Brother Sam Tate was on the call in April, and he has a syndicated program called Gospel Gems. So he's offered to run a announcement, 30-second announcement on his Gospel Gems network on 75 radio stations. So this is an example of what we can do. And so Dexy Baud, who is in Texas, has a great voice, and so she has recorded some announcements for this to promote the Joe Dudley Legacy Project. I should have played one, but anyway, I'll play one at the next meeting, and then we're going to send those on to Sam Tate, and he's going to start airing it on the radio. So bottom line is, it's not just a matter of, you know, making money. It's a lot of things that we can do. Another person who stepped up is Mickey Wright with Beauty Superstars. And she stepped up. I think she's on the call today. I think I saw her name come through. She is reaching out to some celebrity hairstylists to get them to endorse this project. She's getting us in touch with some folks, and she also became a subscriber to the podcast. Okay. Mr. Lafayette Jones, I mentioned earlier, they mentioned this in their column in the OTC Beauty magazine. He authors that column every month in the national magazine, and he dedicated that one to the Dudley family, Dudley Project. And he also has offered to create an urban call. This is his publication dedicated to this project. So that's in the works too. So we're going to have a pamphlet, urban call issue dedicated to the project that we can distribute. Okay. So I'm just trying to give you some examples. It's not always just about money. Is, you know, money's good too, don't get me wrong. But it's all these things that we can do to help get this word out. One of the things too on Every.Black is we push it out on our network, our podcast network, not just the Joe Dudley network, but also the Every.Black podcast network. We share it at our mastermind meetings. Every single mastermind meeting, we hold a meeting every Monday night. We always mention the Joe Dudley Project, so people encourage people to check it out and go there. We are launching our own Roku channel, and actually I literally gave them the go-ahead last week, a few days ago. And so it probably will be up and running. It has to be approved by Roku. It'll probably be up and running within the next few days, literally. And so we will also be using that to get the word out and sharing these interviews as well. And then I have to mention this. Have any of you heard of what's going to happen in Tulsa in about another week? The 1921 to 2021, well, 1921, the massacre that happened there, the burning of Black Wall Street. Well, it's the centennial. And they're having a huge, when I say huge, I mean a huge event to commemorate that. If you go to Tulsa2021.org, the address is down at the bottom. You'll see what I'm talking about. Tulsa2021.org. Well, one of the ladies, one of the organizers of this event, her name is Patricia Muhammad, and she has been coming to our mastermind meetings, Every.Black mastermind meetings. And we really didn't know who she was, but you know, we welcomed her. Turns out she's one of the organizers. She liked our meeting and she invited us to attend and be a part of this program. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Tulsa. We'll be in Tulsa this time next weekend. Live from Tulsa, we'll be having our mastermind meeting on the 31st, live from Tulsa. Now this is a picture of some of our members. But there's about 10 of us, I think 10 or so, that's going to actually be there in Tulsa from North Carolina to represent. And one of the things we're going to be doing is we want to start, we will be telling people about the Joe Dudley Project. And one of the missions that I have is I want to get some celebrity endorsements. You all recognize this guy? I want to get some celebrity endorsements from some of these people that we might run into. Right? I said, this is going to be a huge event. You need to look it up. At first, we weren't going to go, but the more we learned about it, the more we realized we've got to be there. This is once, you know, it's a centennial. It's not going to happen again. And the people that's coming through, now this is Garner, Mr. Garner, and he was the subject of that movie that Will Smith did a few years ago, Pursuit of Happiness. This is the original. This is the guy that the movie was about. He's going to be there. And they've got different things on different days. Dr. Cornel West is going to be there. Okay. Wynton Marsalis is going to be there. I mean, it goes on. Stacey Abrams is going to be there. We also found out the Obamas are going to be there. So, I mean, we were like, we got to go. Kim and I, we got to go to Tulsa. And every day, this is just some of the people. You'll recognize probably half of the folks on here that are going to be there. Earl Graves with Black Enterprise and Michelle Miller with CBS News. You know, this is a huge event that they're recognizing what happened in 1921. So we want to be there, one, to tell people about the Joe Dudley Legacy Project, as well as having our mastermind meeting and just being a part of this huge occasion to recognize that. By the way, if anyone wants to go with us from North Carolina, I got one seat available. So just putting it out there. And so, like I said, we literally are looking for celebrity endorsements. And if you know some of these people, we have some connections to, like Dr. George Frazier, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, Michael B. Roberts. Some we don't, but like Lisa Nichols is another one, through Ella and Mr. Dudley, because Mr. Dudley knows probably all of these people anyway. But we wanted to get them to endorse this project. really get the word out. And I think that's about it. We'll just give you a synopsis of snapshot of what we're doing. We're going to be holding this meeting just once a month. We don't want to take up a lot of your time, just for an hour, just to give you an update of where it's going. And at this time, it's just like, what can you do to help us with this project? That's what we ask. And I say start off by just doing a $10 a month subscription to the podcast. If you can do that, that's huge. And again, the podcast subscription, the link is down there at the bottom, patreon.com/JoeDudleySR will take you there and you'll see some of those interviews, but we want to put a lot more on there. So any questions or comments or thoughts or?
Jimmy, I don't see a single hand raised. I'm excited. I'm excited about our legacies. I'm excited about the Dr. Joel Dudley Legacy Project. Because believe it or not, this has led and opened up other doors for us. And it's a huge opportunity that we're going to Tulsa, that we're going to be able to promote what we're doing. And I feel very confident we're going to meet the right people when we're in Tulsa that will definitely want to be very supportive of the Dr. Joel Dudley Senior Legacy Project. Everybody knows Dr. Dudley. So yeah. It's going to be a huge opportunity for us to be able to talk about what we're doing. And I think Dawn's got her hand up right now.
Yeah, Dawn Gibson, I believe it is. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I'm unmuted. Yes, I just wanted to say this is absolutely awesome. I am thinking of several different things that I don't want to take up the meeting time with right now, but I wanted to express how awesome this is and how, yes, I'm on board. I think everybody on here is excited. I'll just speak on behalf of everybody. But yes, I wanted to just let you know that. And just find out a little bit more, maybe afterwards, about some things and with what I'm doing, maybe with some of the young people that I work with.
Okay, well, we'll be glad to talk to anyone if you have some ideas. I had a text message, someone else wants to talk after the meeting. Would love to do that. Yes. I see someone else has their hand up. I don't see a name though. I've got the Zoom call going, Kim. Can you see?
Yeah.
The young lady there.
Yes, Ms. Teamer.
Good evening, everyone. I am very excited about this project and I'm coming on board. I had got a call from Ms. Ella and I was shocked because she heard my experience I had with Mr. Dudley at like a hair show years ago, and how other product manufacturers were really inspired by him. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at having conversations with some product manufacturers and people that I know that were touched by him here in Chicago.
Okay.
So I'm going to get that information. I already started putting it out there to a couple of people I know, one product manufacturer as well too. So I'm having a target date myself, like maybe in July or August, and getting in communication and seeing what can manifest out of these possibilities.
Absolutely. And what we can do too for everyone on the call, we can at least send you the press release that we issued, maybe some photos that you can use to promote. We can send you some materials at least to help, so you don't have to make everything, right? If you have some things also to share, then that's fine too. But we can at least send you some things so you don't have to create materials or create content to share. And we can certainly do that. And just to let you know too, before I forget, like I say, once a month, so I'm looking at the calendar, like June 27th is another Sunday. We're trying to think of a day that most people are at least available during the week. It's just so hard. You can't get everyone. No matter what day of the week you pick somebody, you're not going to get everyone. But June 27th is another Sunday. And at 6 p.m. again, we'll just do the same time, just once a month to let people know how things are going. But yes, Ms. Inez and Ms. Gibson, it's great. And also, like I said, I got another text message from someone else that wants to talk offline. we'd love to. Oh, Mickey has her hand up too.
Hi there. I just wanted to say I think you guys are doing an amazing job, and this is very exciting to be part of. And you know, especially with Tulsa coming up on Monday and having the opportunity to talk about the history of the hairstyling industry. So, you know, everything that's moving forward with Mr. Dudley is really cool. So just want to continue to support and continue to work on the things I'm supposed to be working on. So
yeah, we hadn't forgot you. And let me ask anyone on the call, has anyone else heard about this event going on in Tulsa next weekend? Actually, it's already started. Some things have already started. Mr. McElroy, I think you said you've heard about it. Yeah. But check it out, tulsa2021.org. Actually, it's going to be huge. And the more I looked into it, if you're able, you really might want to think about going. So what we did, we're going to have a series of mastermind meetings. We'll call it the Black Wall Street series, about what happened in Tulsa, you know, to recognize Black Wall Street. And so I just want to share a couple of things with you too.
Yes, right. Mickey's going to be our guest speaker.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
31st, the holiday. Yay, yay, yay.
For.
We're going to be live in Tulsa, and she's going to be guest speaker with Mr. Lafayette Jones.
Yeah, so this is our Black Wall Street Economic Empowerment Series, live from Tulsa. Now, Mickey won't be in Tulsa, at least maybe she will be after we shared all this with her. but we will be in Tulsa, and we'll be bringing on. So we already have a facility in Tulsa, hosts about 75 people, but we're going to cut that number down because of COVID. But we will have a live audience. We'll be on Zoom, and Mickey and Mr. Jones will be zoomed in, but you'll have a live audience as well as the people on Zoom from around the country on the mastermind meeting. And then the other thing that we will be doing is during every meeting that month, we're having Addie Banks. She is an historian, and we're going to give her a few minutes during each meeting to just tie the history of Black business into the speakers, whatever the speakers are for the evening. Now, the kickoff is going to be about the beauty care industry, the history of beauty care, but she's going to be tying it all together with the history dating back to Black Wall Street and even before. So we're really excited about being there, really excited about just being a part of this, as well as getting the word out about the Joe Dudley Legacy Project. So. Any questions or any other thoughts? Or well, again, feel free to reach out to us. If it's something you think you can do to help, please do so. Let us know. I'll be glad to do whatever we can, provide you with some materials, press release, that type of thing, so you have something to share. Or if you have some other thoughts with other projects, think about how it might fit in some of the things you're doing. Like Dawn Gibson mentioned that maybe something she's doing with the youth. You know, if it ties in, that would be great. Just let us know how it might work into this. Okay. Last call, anyone?
Hello, Jamie, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Who is this?
Melvin, Robert Melvin.
Oh yeah, hi, Mr. Melvin.
Yeah, I've enjoyed everything I've been on. I got that publication I'd like to get to you.
Okay.
For the trip there. So give me a call, or I'll try to reach you a bit later. I'm over the Grand Dover. We're having a meeting at 7 over here tonight.
Okay.
But I will be getting back in touch.
Well, I just want to let everyone know this is Mr. Melvin, who has maintained a lot of the information that Mr. Dudley has, including he's played for me cassettes of S.B. Fuller that you've been holding on to, right, Mr. Melvin?
From your time.
Absolutely. I got about 20 of them. I was there with them in Chicago for a while. So
wow.
Yeah, I've enjoyed holding on to them and listening to them.
Wow, and S.B. Fuller mentored Mr. Dudley along with thousands of others. Oh, there's Mr. Dudley.
Yeah, hey Jim, how you doing?
Hi, Mr. Dudley.
Wow, I'm just doing good.
Great.
And y'all sound so great. I'm just really good. And thank all people that's coming to listen to what we're doing. I'm just real happy about that. And so thank you, and we'll be talking to you real soon.
You know, Mr. Dudley, I think I like your tie there. That's the one
I will hope you would. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I gave that to you for Christmas.
Oh, did you do it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I sure did.
Ask you for it. I know you will be around this weekend, so I got to find my time, make sure that you can see it.
Well, I noticed it. Thank you.
Yes. Did you notice my shoes?
Well, I didn't see your shoes.
Let's see your shoes.
I'm sure they're looking good. We can't make out the shoes.
Wow. I appreciate all you. Wow, this is a good time for me.
Well, super.
Yes.
Mickey, did you have something else you wanted to share?
Oh, I just wanted to say happy belated birthday to Mr. Dudley, Dr. Dudley.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, wonderful.
Wow.
Jimmy, did
Take
you
care, Jim.
notice anything?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you notice anything?
Oh, yeah, I did. I mentioned it. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. We're trying to go to the grand ballroom at the Grand Over. He's got a meeting over here.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So, we understand. Can't keep him still, that's for sure.
No. 84 years old and he is going.
Okay, we all have a good evening then. Okay.
Take care.
All right.
Okay.
Well, y'all heard it. We got to do this, right? So.
Yes, absolutely. Good to
Yeah.
see you, Mr. Dudley, Miss Ella.
All right, see you later.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
So I'm gonna stop there unless we get any other surprises. I didn't know he's coming on. So I shouldn't be surprised because he's been on most of your interviews. If he knows we're interviewing someone, he tries to get on. He doesn't always make it, but he tries to get on all of your interviews. And they really have been inspiring.
Whether he's traveling in the car or not.
Yeah.
Was able to do it. Bye, Albert.
So I'm gonna stop there, but like I said, unless anyone has anything, we just appreciate your time, okay? And feel free to reach out to us, Jimmy at Every.Black or Kim at Every.Black, any way we can do to help, and you'll be getting some other things from us by email. And maybe a phone call as well, so, okay?
Thanks, Dad. I got your information.
Yeah. There you go. He's going to the grand ball. Okay.
Yeah, they got an event or something they're going to tonight.
Yeah, they are. It starts in about a minute.
Wow.
Mhm.
Well, this has been so informative.
So, okay, I'm gonna end it. So,
Okay, thank you,
all.
All right, thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you
care,
for being on
Jimmy.
this
Thanks for
call.
everything.
Sure.
Thank you. Have a wealthy week.
You too.
Peace and blessings, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.